BraveWomen, Hear Us Roar. And I'm sitting here as Sharon, as your host, and my co-host Romana. And I have these other beautiful ladies, which are definitely Braveheart ladies, and Braveheart women, actually. And we have Rita, and we have Brenda, and we have Dorothy. And we're representing some of the women that have come down to the Ixtapa Healing and Training Center, the World Healing and Training Center, to take advantage of the whole life coach and to certify themselves as whole life coaches and to certify themselves as master practitioners. We have the three of us that are master practitioners because we've gone through the courses. We've gone through the whole life coach course and the Wolf non-surgical certification. And so we are now master practitioners, and the other beautiful ladies have certified themselves as whole life coaches and also Wolf non-surgical whole life coach practitioners too as well, the new world practitioners. So what we're doing today is that we're going to have an interactive component of the Braveheart Women show where I'm going to demonstrate what it's like to roar. But in order to be able to roar, we need to be able to take a deep breath. And so often we have individuals saying, well, just take a deep breath and relax yourself. And when I'm doing my consultations, and I know I can speak to other consultants, and we also use it as far as our daily practice because it is part of the protocols. It's part of the 4 pillars of what Daryl Wolf has put together to unite the emotional and the physical. And what is so important with the emotional is to be able to calm ourselves down that we can be in the present moment. And the breath work is absolutely imperative because we could take 3 or 4 breaths and we could put ourselves into a parasympathetic state, the state of the present moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate, I'm going to actually talk about some of the philosophies of the breath work and to get ourselves actually diaphragmatically breathing. Let's talk about grace. As Braveheart women, we are capturing our grace. What is grace? Last night I was at a gathering and I ended up pulling a card that was the grace card. It's a reflection of our inner charisma, elegance, and feminine expression. As we embrace our sense of grace as nurturing, compassionate women that we are, now we are in the conscious mind because we are embracing that compassionate elegance, the femininity modeled by Mother Nature, and we're actually able to encourage and be able to enfold that Mother Nature, which is love. How cool is that? I love that word, grace. What do you think, Brenda?
That's awesome. Really, see, those cards were really cool yesterday.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Fabulous.
That's good.
And after we ended up going through, and I've really encouraged you to join in regards to the Braveheart breathing techniques, is I encourage you to follow and to actually allow yourself to bring in that breath of life, bring in that ability to connect to Mother Nature. Because when we can oxygenate ourselves, well then it's all about carbon dioxide and oxygen, and when we oxygenate ourselves, we can actually fire up our system and be able to enlighten ourselves. And so join us with these techniques and join us to encourage yourself to diaphragmatically breathe and the Braveheart breathing techniques. How are you doing today, Romana?
Absolutely amazing. I've already done all of my techniques, especially my belly button therapy. Clapping, 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 more clapping. And of course the breathing. I do that. Actually, I do the Lionheart breathing as soon as I wake up. As soon as I wake up and go, oh yeah, it's morning, I do the left hand on the belly button, the right hand on the heart, and I leave my eyes closed and I breathe deeply, 6 seconds in and 7 seconds out for a number of minutes and just gently wake myself up. Then I grab this little guy and off I run. And that gets all the dopamine, the oxytocin, the serotonin and the endorphins just flooding through the body, ready to provide you with the most magnificent day. So how else can you have a better day when you actually set off your body with its natural hormones of fun and great feelings and healing right then and there, as soon as you get up. Done.
It's all about the present moment. That's the only place that we can truly heal.
Yeah.
And we're very often not in the present moment and in a state of anxiety. I'd like to talk a bit about what ends up going on with how we have lost our ability to diaphragmatically breathe. When a baby is born, their abdomen raises and it falls, and it raises and it falls. They're diaphragmatically breathing. So they're oxygenating, they're inflating their entire lung capacity. And somewhere along the lines, and I ended up about 10 years ago, I ended up doing a bit of a study, and I've asked different teachers and friends of mine that have been elementary school teachers. And we figure that it's about grade 3 or grade 4. As we're getting institutionalized and as we're no longer free beings in this so-called free world. And then we started trapping these little spirits. And now it's like, sit down, listen to authority. You need to be quiet and just do what you need to do. You've got to color now, and then you've got to do this now. And we go outside and we have a 15-minute recess. And you're actually institutionalized. And those little spirit beings, they lose their ability to actually have that full breath capability to diaphragmatically breathe. And what we also noticed in regards to the children from talking to my teacher friends is that they also in grade 3 or grade 4, and she pinned it pretty much at the grade 4 level, is that they now were so much aware of peer pressures, and their creativity started to change because they were becoming so concerned about what their fellow students were doing, and their confidence levels were kind of being squelched. And I believe that all interacted as far as now doing bronchial breathing, which we're only using the upper part of the chambers of the lungs, which is bronchial breathing. We're not diaphragmatically breathing. If we're lucky, the average person is only using maybe 20% of their lung capacity. So when you look at the lungs here and look at the respiratory system, you see that the lungs come all the way down, and here's your diaphragm. And what we're doing when we're bronchial breathing, which we say that we're taking a deep breath, but we see, I watch people when they take deep breaths, is that their upper chest rises and it falls. Their abdomen isn't expanding and contracting. And that's why we're only using like about 20% of our lungs. And that 20%, then the rest of the lungs themselves, then they almost become atrophied because they're not being used and they're not being exercised, because everything needs exercise, everything needs blood flow and circulation. And these little tiny sacs called alveoli, these little sacs, they're the ones that expand and contract, and they do the exchange of the CO2 and the oxygen within the bloodstream. So they feed the blood cells of CO2 and oxygen, so there's an exchange. So when we're only using just the upper part of the chamber of the lungs, this part of the lung starts to atrophy. And when we're doing diaphragmatic breathing, we have to retrain ourselves to actually expand the belly and contract the belly. Expand the belly and contract the belly. And we're actually, by that expansion and contraction, we're actually massaging the lower part of the lungs so that now they're actually working properly. And that so much toxins get stored within this lower area because it's atrophied. And we need to have that exchange. Not only do we need to have that exchange as far as the lung health itself goes, but 80 to 85% of our oxygen goes to the brain. Well, we know that many individuals have foggy brains, so they have foggy brain because they have not very much oxygen, not very much circulation, and then there's also the holy grail with what's going on with the health of the large intestine, which is spewing toxins in and being drawn up by the spinal fluid through the coccyx tail. There's all of these myriad of kind of snowball effect, as Daryl calls it, the domino effect to health. So it's very, very important that we get back to be able to actually diaphragmatically breathe. And I'll show some techniques as far as how we can actually retrain the body. And I put this digestive system poster up here too as well, because we have two open systems in our body. All the rest is the closed system. It's our respiratory system and our digestive system. We want all of these open systems to function. Well, we want all the systems to function as well as they possibly can. But these are so important because there's no filtering in those open systems. So whatever we bring into the digestive system, it's got to go through our body and be somehow expelled. And that's why our large intestine is such an important component. And we do perfect day consults, and we develop a strategy, a supported strategy as far as getting to the base core of health, which is the holy grail of the large intestine. So this is an open system, and the respiratory system is an open system. So we want to make sure that the exchange that is going on and what is happening from when we breathe in to the lungs, and the exchange that's going on with the CO2 and the oxygen within the bloodstream, and what's coming out of the lungs. So when we've had atrophication going on at the lower part of the lungs, that is full of toxins. And that's why we suggest that many people do nebulizing. And we have some beautiful products as far as nebulizing. We have the Silver Bullet Solution and the Nanofulvic Bright Eyes, which you might want to talk about that, Romana.
Well, I actually, the Marigin is really good in it as well.
Yeah.
So there's actually quite a few products that have the ability to be nebulized, and of course then you're using a tiny little amount, but it's amazing how it really gets into where it needs to go, right, to clear things up. So the breathing's interesting, because I never realised how important it was until a few years ago when I became bedridden and started to, just out of my own curiosity, I didn't know about Daryl back then, but I went into the Wim Hof breathing, and I noticed what a difference that made. But doing the techniques that Daryl has, especially with the nebulizing and with all the other procedures to open you up, including the stretches, everything is a benefit. It doesn't matter what part of the protocol it is, and it's all in your Perfect Day Lifestyle Guide, which you get with your consultation. It's over 300 pages long, and it is so important to read it from beginning to end. It is literally the new goal of your life for the rest of your life, and everything in there works, everything.
Well, and yes, and there's different recipes as far as what we can use to bring back the integrity of the lung tissue and to flush out those toxins. And we can nebulize a Silver Bullet Solution with the Nanofulvic Bright Eyes and breathe that in. And we can also nebulize that on our eyes too as well, which will chelate heavy metals and toxins out of the cells of the lungs themselves and infuse the lung cells with up to 60 micronutrients. And that's one methodology as far as how you can nebulize and really, really work on getting back the health of the lungs and detoxify the lungs. There's also the nebulizing of the infinite iodine with the structured water, and distilled structured water if you so prefer. And we would do like 1/3 of the infinite iodine and 2/3 in the nebulizing reservoir, and then we would breathe that in too as well, which will really help with any infections or bacteria, because there's so much mucus that is accumulated from the fungus that is being created from the large intestine. And so we can nebulize those products too as well, which is a very good way. And I find that for myself is that I'll use one reservoir of one combination, and then I'll do another reservoir of another. So I'm approaching it from different perspectives, but all in the name of reducing the toxins. And of course, you can also nebulize with the Marigin and the ionic calcium.
Yeah.
Not just necessarily the Marigin, it's the ionic
But
calcium.
interestingly enough, people get so panicked when they start something or they do a detox or whatever, and we've just been taught so many lies about what happens when we get sick. And when we get sick, it's your body trying to get rid of toxins. So ultimately, if you get a runny nose, we've been taught to go and pop a pill to stop it from running. Well, no, it's actually the opposite of what you should be doing, because your body is naturally providing the source to get it out of you, hence blowing the nose, throwing the tissues away. Yes, it's annoying, but it's getting out. And then using the products that Sharon was just talking about will help it all settle down, and it'll heal it. It'll actually make it easier without popping any pills and stopping your natural immune system from working. All the products are designed to work with the body, not against it, like all the other things we've been taught. Even when we get a fever, we've been taught to pop a Panadol to bring the fever down. No, the fever's there for a reason. The body is naturally responding to a problem, and it's trying to fix it, and we get taught to stop it. So don't be afraid of reactions, but use the nutraceuticals and the nebulizing, especially as we're talking about lungs, to help you heal faster. don't stop your body's
It's all
natural
about,
response.
It's all about the toxins, right?
Yeah.
The toxins
And the
in order
food.
to, and it's all about the cells,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we've had all those experiences, right? As far as how we've started to detoxify. How about yourself, Rita? What experience have you had in regards to detoxification? Whether it be the lungs or the rest of the body from some of the nutraceuticals and the protocols that Daryl Wolf has put together for us.
Yes, that protocol was the best, and I have seen the result, Sharon, right from the beginning. As I start using it, I was using the cleansing detox tea and C60 and many of other products, but all of them, the iodine, right now I'm trying to remember all of it, but almost all of it, but unlike, I mean, I have, before that I was visiting different other natural health doctors or, but then I didn't see the result. It was like, okay, it was buying things that didn't give me any result. And as soon as I start with Daryl's product, even before I took the course, I realized this is the one. This is a complete program, complete protocol created by Daryl Wolf, and everything is there. Once you follow to it, you're gonna heal yourself completely. And the emotional part, and the nutraceuticals, how to eat, how even to chew your food, everything. The whole program is there, and it's for us to do it, to heal ourselves. So I'm very, very happy. And also I want to say about the breathing. Breathing is a way of life. More we breathe, more we are connected to our inner soul.
Absolutely. And our grace.
And our
Teddy
breath, yeah.
mentioned on the Facebook, he said tight jeans, flat tummies are not natural for most of us, but proper breathing should be. And we live in this world that there's this thing about the six pack, and we want to have all these this look that is supposed to be part of what health is. Well, the six pack actually freezes your diaphragm, and you cannot take a deep breath. And not only does it freeze the diaphragm, as all those little micro tears from creating that six pack of doing all your crunches and everything else is creating little bits of inflammation, which then is creating scar tissue. So the scar tissue is now creating blockages within the abdomen. Now you can't breathe properly because you're so tight in your six pack, but oh boy, you sure look good. And the world wants you to have a six pack because that's the programming. That I need to go and do a million crunches and hang upside down and hold weights and do all these things, creating all these wonderful micro tears in the body, which then ends up, creating more scar tissue within the muscle fibers and builds up the mass. And those are just creating blockages. So not only are you creating blockages from the scar tissue formation, but you're creating blockages within the breathing, the ability to oxygenate the blood. And the blood needs oxygen, the blood needs lymph, the blood needs circulation, it needs blood vessels, it needs all of those things. It needs live enzymes from live foods, it needs proper nutrition, it needs proper water. That's what we need in order to have a healthy body. Now you're just removing the ability for somebody to breathe properly. Their diaphragm's not working, it's frozen. And not only are they frozen here, they're frozen in the back, so you're frozen on both levels, and it's all about having flow. Light energy goes up the spine, that's where the health is, that's how we feed our bodies, is that all the nervous system, everything comes down to how everything is moving. So let's talk about the working our diaphragmatic breathing and the techniques associated with actually trying to get ourselves to diaphragmatically breathe, because we need to do forms of exercise to do that. So let's pull out this little buddy here,
We're doing that
the
first.
belly button, because anytime you're doing any form of exercise, do you have one here, Rita? There you go. Anytime you're doing any form of exercise, it's really good to put yourself into a parasympathetic state. and you're actually increasing your ability to stretch when you're doing the belly button therapy. And we go in and we do, you know, you don't have to do very many minutes, but 5 to 8 minutes ideally. You could just do 2 or 3. It triggers over 60,000 nerve receptors in around the umbilical cord, or, well, that was part of the umbilical cord, in the belly button. And it also then stimulates the vagus nerve, which in a woman goes all the way from the female genitalia, all the way up past the belly button and in past the neck here. And that's it's called the wandering nerve, and it goes all the way up and it wanders. But not only does it wander, it gives us the wonders of the parasympathetic state.
I agree.
It is. So here we go. We do a nice slow rhythmic. Slow down there.
Okay, slowly.
Slowly,
okay.
Wow, rock star, you know.
I have done this morning.
Yes. So everybody out there, you could pull out your belly button therapy tool, and we could start doing some belly button.
And if you don't have one, you can use your fingers and you
I
can
couldn't even
push it.
hold on to one for the first year that I was bedridden. So use your fingers, no
Yeah.
excuses.
Yeah.
There's no
And
excuse.
time,
Good
if
point,
you
Brenda.
if you
Big
are
finger, darling.
if you have I'm not doing it. If you have multiple conditions like I did, I would do it every hour. I literally set my timer every hour to do the belly button therapy, to set off all those endorphins and vagus nerve, the whole ball and dice, to get you healing faster.
And you could do it standing up, you could do it sitting down, you could do it lying down.
Do it watching TV,
Yeah.
which you shouldn't be watching anyway.
Yeah, but if you're lying down,
Unless it's
Positive, right?
if you're lying down and got nothing else to do because you can't move, there's pretty
Right.
much nothing
Oh, yeah.
else other than
Okay,
to
so once we kind of warmed ourselves up with the belly button, I would like to,
I got it twice.
warm ourselves up.
That was
Hot.
funny. Yeah, hot flash.
Yes. Never did have them. Okay, so what we want to be able to do is we want to be able to open on the breath in and then contract, because we want to do
Should I get up and do this?
expansion and contraction as far as being able to open up all the blood vessels, because it's like hydrotherapy. It's all about opening and then contracting. So then we squeeze the toxins out of the blood vessels. So that in order to be able to really work yourself, the ideal thing is to get to a point where you can stand up and do the breathing. So we're gonna open, and then we're gonna contract, and we're gonna push the belly button to the back of the spine. So it's almost like you've got kicked in the stomach. You know, when you get kicked in the stomach and you go like this. So you want to be able to. So we want to be able to push that. So we're actually massaging the lower part of the lungs themselves. So a really good way to work into being able to do this is to do it in a cat-cow position, but you girls can do it, you can do it standing. So what it is that we're going to open, and expand, belly out, and then when we exhale, we're going to go.
I'm sorry.
Inhale. Expand. We're opening up the lungs, really expanding everything, pushing that belly out, and exhale. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go into the cat-cow position, because the cat-cow position is actually an easier way to teach yourself to actually do that, because it allows your belly to drop using gravity. So when you're doing the cat-cow, is that you're actually, I saw so many images of the cat-cow as far as the techniques go. Yeah, go ahead, Brenda.
The belly.
I thought you were going to do something else.
No, it's not that type of show.
Down here, come and join us.
Sharon.
The Ixtapa World Trade Center. Okay, so now we got comedians all over the place. So what we're going to do is that when you're doing the cat-cow position, is that when you're opening up the lungs, you want to, there's so many images, I actually went online yesterday, actually Romana and I did, and to look at the positioning as far as the cat-cow, and in the cow position, when you're opening and you're increasing your lung capacity and you're bringing in the oxygen into the lungs is that on anything that I saw, the arms were straight. Well, that does not allow you to expand your chest.
No.
So you want to make sure that when you're doing this, you want to flare out your elbows so you have a place for your chest to expand. If your arms are straight, you're actually freezing into your chest, and you're not allowing your chest to open and those lungs to expand. And this will take some time, and you will feel lightheaded. Because now you've got this oxygen going to the brain. You think, oh my gosh, I did like 4 breaths and I feel lightheaded, and I just went and laid down. Well, the lightheaded is actually good because it's light in the head. And we are electromagnetic energy light beings.
Yeah.
And so we want light in the head because then we're firing at all levels. Neurons, all the synapses within the brain are now firing because now they have oxygen. So you can't have oxidative stress when you have oxygen. So disease and illness within the body is lack of oxygen.
Yeah.
And so then now we want to oxygenate ourselves so then we can move away from the fear of dis-ease, which is the means that the body has of telling us that we are out of alignment. So let's realign ourselves, and let's just do some things as simple as breathing. So what I want to do is I want to open up my elbows, and I want to go into cow position. And I want to drop my belly. That's why I wore something tight today, so we could see my belly drop, and use gravity to drop it. But not only am I doing that, is I am swaying my back so that then I can now release the tension within the back, because it's all connected. It's the front and it's the back. So we've got, both sides of everything. There's 2 sides to everything in the body. It's because it's symmetry. So anyways, we're going to open. And we're going to close off, and we're going to go into cat, and we're going to fire ourselves up. And this is where we straighten our arms, and we're going to inhale. Open, 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 expand, expand. Drop that belly, flare the belly or the buttocks to the sky, because we're really exaggerating this movement. And Brenda can point that out with her handy dandy little pointer there.
Yeah.
And I'm dropping my belly.
Yeah.
I'm inhaling. And I'm exhaling. Contraction, contraction, contraction. And I'm pulling my belly button to my spine. And now I'm inhaling. Dropping, 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 opening, 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 because we're opening on the inhale and we're contracting on the exhale. So we're contraction, 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 exhale.
And when you start doing this, it is really hard to do because we haven't taken any breaths that deep for I don't even know how many years. So it's really hard, but once you get the hang of it, you'll be able to do this.
And it's so important
6 in, 7 out.
to flare out the elbows
Is this a 6 in, 7
and
out?
raise the head.
Well, no, because
No,
you're doing
this
a
is
cat
just-
cow. You're doing one breath per. You're doing one breath in,
And
and then one breath out.
Okay.
No, that's the hand to heart.
Okay.
That's the one me.
So try this at home and work on that, because it works on so many different levels. It works on the spine, it works on the abdomen, and it allows you to retrain your body to actually be able to diaphragmatically breathe. And once we've done that, so now that's the theory behind it. So now we have a series of 4 different types of Braveheart breathing techniques that Daryl has put together, which are really powerful techniques. And these are techniques that the mind can now go and we can sense. Can you just scroll up a little bit, please? Yes. So these are techniques that the mind now can connect to the body and to the heart. And it's about putting ourselves into, it's about triggering all of these wonderful areas. And with the belly button, we're triggering the opportunity for us to go into a parasympathetic state. So now one of the first breathing techniques, which Romana was mentioning in regards to the Lionheart breathing. The Lionheart breathing is about doing the brain, heart, body connection. And we become so disconnected. And that is why we were able to abuse ourselves so much. And then we run a program, a suffer program, and then we become out of alignment, and then all of a sudden we're diagnosed with some term
yeah.
that's just telling us that we have dis-ease in the body, which is now we're no longer here in this present moment, we're over there, and then now we run around in this fear-based model that then we're now going to be so concerned because we're no longer Sharon or Romana or Dorothy or Brenda or Rita, we're now that disease. So we have this title like fibromyalgia, or some of them it's like, really? Like, who named that thing? It had like 14 syllables, and it's like, this is what I got. I got like I had a spondylosis of the dubidaba, you know?
I used to line a mile long.
What is that?
Now it's this long. I just added to it as I got sicker and sicker and older, and it just went ridiculous. I had all the names. I think I've just about had every disease you could think of.
Yeah.
Not really,
Yeah,
but
I know.
you know, I had so many ailments.
You were labeled.
Yeah.
You're
And
not.
then in the end,
We all did.
the answer was lie in bed for the rest of your life, watch Netflix, and be in pain and be on killers. Painkillers. Well, I guess they are painkillers.
No, right, painkillers. Killers.
Yeah, killers. Right there.
You said it right.
It's right in front
It's
of
right
us.
in front of you. It's
Right.
literally telling you
Yeah.
what it's doing.
Diet, die.
And that was their answer. That was all the different doctors and specialists that I'd been to and spent thousands of dollars trying to figure out. So I knew it was wrong with me. I was totally inflamed and infected. Full stop. Doesn't matter what you want to call it. It's still the same thing.
Yeah,
And it
I'll
repairs
understand
the
that.
same way. That's why these protocols work. I'd been given so many things over the years, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to get healed with treatments and different so-called health products and different naturopaths and different this and this, that nothing worked. I literally got sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker and sicker. And now look at me. I'm improving all the time. I've got a little bit to go, but like I said, the list was this long. It's now this long. So the proof is in the pudding, guys.
You just have to take massive personal action, and anyone can be healthy.
Absolutely.
Anyone.
And like Rita, and you know, you can only do it for yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to do the work. No one can do it for you.
Yeah.
There's no magic button or
So come down to the supplement.
That's
So
it.
let's go back to the Lionheart
Yes,
breathing.
that's
So
good.
the Lionheart breathing is one of the base breathing techniques that we advise people when we're doing the Perfect Day consults, and that is what can bring us back to the bring us into a parasympathetic state, which is the state of present moment. And that's the biggest gift, is the gift of presence. And this is what we are encouraging people to do, because just 2 or 3 of the Lionheart breathing techniques will now put you into that present moment. So what we start off with is we start off with the right hand on the heart and the left hand on the abdomen, which is actually on the belly button. And by having the hand on the belly button, this will actually trigger the neurons within that region, because that's where we're actually connected to our source of life, which is within the womb. And so that now creates the brain-heart connection. And this is where we become so disconnected. So that will actually bring us back into the present moment, which the present moment is the power. It's the point of power, the state of healing. So within 3 minutes of doing the Lionheart breathing, we can now feel joy, we can now feel gratitude, we can now feel love and compassion. How beautiful is that? Joy. It's really foreign to many of us, and I know it was very foreign to me. Yeah. To actually say that you feel joyful. And all these different emotions that we have resonates at different hertz levels, which is different levels of vibration, because we are an electromagnetic energy light being, and what we want to do is we want to push the vibration. So anything that we can do that connects ourselves to the heart, because the heart has the highest vibration of any organ within our body, because it will emanate energy out to like 6 feet all around us. Isn't that interesting? 6 feet.
So that's why hugging is so important.
Right.
And that's why they did the 6 foot rule.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah.
Where have we heard that
Yeah.
in the last 3 years,
Yeah.
2 years?
And my 35 years with my ex-partner now, we never hugged on that side. I never knew. Heart to heart, it's so important. And now that we know, everyone we hug, even if they're people we've just met, you feel a connection straight away. Like it's really heart to heart. Don't hug any other way, guys. Do the heart to heart. It'll blow your mind. It really
Yes,
will.
so we're going to put it absolutely right. And so we're going to put the right hand on the heart and the left hand on the belly button. And we're going to breathe in for 6 seconds, a count of 6, and we're going to hold for a point of still point. The still point is very important, because that still point is where you're regenerating. You're creating new synapses within the body, new connection. So we're going to breathe in for 6, 5, 6, and hold for 2, 1, 2, or 3. And then we're going to go out for 7, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And really be cognizant of the fact that you're going to be working on your diaphragmatic breathing. So we're going to do belly breathing, not bronchial breathing. So we're not going to be going. We're going to relax the shoulders, elongate the spine, and we're going to tip this chin up, and we're going to put a slight smile on our face, because it all starts with the smile, doesn't it?
It does. I always smile.
So we're going to breathe in for 6, hold, 1, 2, and out for 7. In for 6, and hold, and out for 7. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And in for 6, and hold, and out for 7. So we can keep doing that, and whenever we're feeling that and that's why the love band is so important, is that we can snap ourselves back. Whenever we feel that we're now being chased by that invisible being, or the paper tiger, as Daryl calls it, because we're making it all up, because it's fears that we've been created by our subconscious mind. And so as we're being chased by the paper tiger, and then which doesn't exist, because how many of us, should we be really concerned about what's happening? Because I don't think that the roof is falling down on us, or there's somebody that's coming in and trying to drag us out the door or anything, is there? And so we create these programs, and that can just calm us down within 3 or 4 breaths.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the key components is that if we do this for a period of, off and on for a 3-day period, which is 72 hours, it will actually create new neuron networks in the brain. Because the brain has synapses in it, and so there's neuron networks, and so it'll actually start creating new ones because you're oxygenating the brain, which 80% to 85% of our oxygen goes to the brain.
Yeah.
And that's why we feel lightheaded. And that is why we will pass out very quickly, and when we have things going on, because the body knows that the brain needs the 80% of the oxygen. So you could go into a coma, or you'll pass out when there's situations where the body needs to have oxygen to the brain. And it could be as simple as just such high levels of anxiety.
And it's quite interesting, there Sharon says again, it triggered a thought in me, again, the body responding to protect you, but we've been taught to fear it. Oh my lordy, he passed out, oh my God, the end of the world. No, that's your body protecting you. We've got to get out of this fear stuff that we've just been taught right from the beginning, and learn to breathe. And if something happens like that, take it as a sign. Your body is your GPS. Take it as a sign. Hang on, there's something not right. How about we work with what we've got and understand why? The breathing, classic example. Okay, that person's lying there. Oh my God, don't just jab them with a million things. How about we just lie there and chill and do the breathing? There's so many things that we've just been taught to just react so ridiculously to. And now that it's ridiculous now that we know, it's not ridiculous to our past programs, because that's what I used to walk around going, don't come near me, you're going to give me a cold, because I got sick all the time because I was a toxic mess, not because I caught anything from anyone, but that's what I thought, because that's what I'd been taught.
It's a program,
And it's totally a program.
It really is just functional beliefs, and it's a program. And when we can start observing it and start recognizing that is a program, then we know that we're starting to turn the page. Right?
And you really recognise it when you learn about the actual body, and you understand how the digestive system works and why it gets all clogged up, because we eat all the wrong things. It's just simply not designed for it.
Yeah.
And
But
the
it comes-
emotions.
but it comes-
Sure.
yes.
Absolutely, but everything gets stuck in there, and
When
we've been
you-
eating like that all our lives, so it's rotting,
Yeah.
but we can heal it. It can all heal, the whole lot, which in turn
Well, like
Heals
Rita
the
was
brain,
saying.
hears the thoughts.
The emotions, right?
Yeah,
Emotions,
absolutely.
And how has that been for you as far as recognizing that emotional component, Rita?
Well, what was missing. I mean, I was missing that in my life. I learned all the detox part about the vitamins, about everything, but then I didn't know anything about the emotions, that we have to love ourselves first in order to be able to love and care about others, even other members in our family. That's what I didn't know. As I took the course with Daryl, the first thing that I learned about the being emotionally balanced, love myself first, give myself a time to take care of myself, and a lot of things that I learned. One of them, I think I learned to forgive other people, which was very, very important. I was holding things that happened many years ago, and it had nothing to do with me anymore. I was poisoning myself, not the other person. So,
And that's not letting people off the hook.
Yeah.
And that's Braveheart step, loving step number 2, which is off the hook.
he
And-
said, he does something there, like just like that.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
And you know, you
It's
have
gone.
a choice, right?
Yeah.
You can hold on to it,
Now we
or
have
you
a
can
choice.
let it go.
And never Sharon use the words I was reading, fear, instead of say I am safe,
Yeah,
and
That's
you're
right.
gonna be safe.
that's right.
That's all it is.
Well, and what ends up happening with this fear and this safety and these things that we create, because we're actually creating it. I mean, it's good to be creative, but it's good to be creative in a positive way, rather than being creative in a negative way. But for the most part, is that, and it's not about judgment, and it's not about saying that there's anything wrong with the person. It's that this has only been happening to us or within us because we have had ourselves programmed. We come into this world as little spirit beings that are diaphragmatically breathing, that just want to be in the moment and play and just have their own little experience, because that's what they are. They just come down to this level of playing field because it's supposed to be a fun-filled adventure, life-threatening adventure, but they come out of the fun really quickly because we, as parents, we adulterate them. All of a sudden it's like, okay, you sit in the corner, I'm the boss, I've got authority over you, you listen to your authorities, you be quiet, you don't speak out, you don't do this, you don't do that, and then all of a sudden this little spirit being is just like, it starts to, like, the little spirit
Shrink.
starts to shrink.
Disappear.
And that's all they know. And then when we become adults, then we have anxiousness because of whatever happened when we were a child, or that we had some kind of something happen to us that put us into a place of fear. And that's the program that we're running. And that fear-based program. And with that subconscious, because we're only in the conscious moment, maybe 2% of our time. So 98% we're in the subconscious
Conscious
moment. So we're not even conscious.
Unconscious.
So how can we actually pick up on a vibe? How can I actually pick up on some intuitive thought or some vibration that comes in, and I can actually jive with it and really understand it and feel it and honor it? Even within myself, I can't even do that. So the breathing is so important because now we're creating a love frequency for ourselves.
Love frequency, that's the word. I love that.
Yes.
And always remember to smile
Yes.
and laugh.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Because how many people have committed suicide when smiling?
And you can't be angry when you smile. The next time you're either angry or sad or crying, just think about it, because I did do it, because I've cried more recently than I ever had in my life before, and not anymore now. But I would go into it, and I remember Daryl saying, just try and smile when you're doing any of those negative things, and you do, and it's so bizarre because the body, again, it creates these hormones, these great happy hormones.
Happy hormones.
And you smile, even though you don't want to smile because you're living in your misery and you're just revolting. But you try it. I'm telling you, try it next time you're crying or angry or whatever, and see how you feel, and it'll blow your mind. It's so amazing.
It's amazing, yeah. Health
And
here, I
that's what
was
this is all
reading.
about.
Yeah, healthier children are laughing 400 times a day, while adults only laugh 15 times a day, or even less. So we need to go back, start laughing,
Lots of laughing.
smiling, and that's another way healing yourself.
Yes,
Definitely.
absolutely. And so these breathing techniques, so the Lionheart breathing, the
We
6
move
seconds
now.
in, hold for a few seconds, and 7 seconds out. That's really a lovely way to just, when you're doing anything, when you're doing your belly button tool, there's belly button therapy, or just when you're just sitting quietly and you're feeling something coming up, because as you connect more and more to that compassion and that love and that infinite creator, as far as our infinite energy, then we'll become more and more connected, and we've just become so disconnected. So the second Braveheart breathing technique that I would like to do is the Braveheart breathing. Can you scroll up, please? Yeah, is the Braveheart breathing. And you do this Braveheart breathing technique standing. And it's very powerful because it actually creates self-empowerment within a person itself. And so what we're doing is we're standing, and we're actually, is the camera actually on me, Raphael? I'm not sure if it's a good position or not. But when we're standing, you're actually powering yourself up. So you're actually going to be going up with your hands as you're breathing in, and then exhale as you come down, and you're going to contract your fists. So this is a self-empowerment. This is the Braveheart breathing technique. This is technique number 2. So we're going to breathe in, and we're going to breathe out. And in, and out. And your chin is going to be up. You're going to have a slight smile on your face. You're going to breathe in through your nose. Spine straight. Feeling strong. Empowering yourself with that beautiful breath. And in. And exhale. Contract. Inhale, expand. And exhale, contract. Inhale, push that abdomen out, and exhale. And inhale, and exhale. One more. Inhale, and exhale.
Good job for all of you. I can see out there.
Yeah, awesome. I applaud you. So what is really important about that stance is that you try to build up to 30 repetition, and you'll start feeling lightheaded if you haven't done it, and maybe some of the individuals here are feeling lightheaded.
Wee bit. Yes.
And this is a stance of Braveheart breathing that we can honor, trust, and really trust in our inner self. So it's a self-empowerment, and that's what we're creating here with the Braveheart, the World Healing and Training Center here in Ixtapa, Mexico. Is we're creating a global march of self-empowerment, about bringing ourselves to the state of consciousness. If we're in the state of consciousness, then we can make a change within this moment. We cannot change what happened yesterday. We cannot change what's going to happen tomorrow. But we can certainly change what's going to happen in this present moment. And when we can be in the present moment, the moment of self-empowerment, how cool is that? Self-empowerment. Then I can take charge of my health. It's now self-care. I can do these things. I can detoxify myself gently with the daily cleansing tea. I can take the belly button therapy. I can do breathing techniques. I can honor, respect, and love myself. For some of us, the first time ever in our lives. And some of us really have. I mean, Dorothy came down here. You're, how old, Dorothy?
80.
80. And how has this changed you? How has this experience
Just
changed you?
enormously. Just picked me up, put me in a whole new world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and seeing such profound changes in
Yeah.
you over the last, what has it been? 6 weeks?
6 weeks, yeah.
6 weeks. And embracing it. And I just had a woman come from Canada, and I did a perfect day consult with her in January. She was 84. and she had so much pain and so much inflammation, and she grasped onto things. She was a widow, had been married for 59 years, living in a little apartment all on her own, and she embraced this. She embraced all of these wonderful strategies, the mirror work, the clapping, the nutraceuticals, and then she came down here and I gave her like 5 treatments. After the first treatment, the pain that she'd been experiencing for decades, where she couldn't even walk. She had to, when she went to get groceries, grab onto that grocery cart so that she could actually maneuver through the grocery store, and never went for walks. After the first treatment, she went for a 2-kilometer hike with her son that had brought her down here. And it was like no more pain in that hip. After the second treatment, I did her knee, and she said that she had not slept in decades without pain. She's just, it's so beautiful. So you can grasp this at any age. There's never an age where the body doesn't rejuvenate itself. So if we do these breathing techniques, then we're now rejuvenating ourselves with all the wonderful oxygen and increasing our flow. With the Wolf Non-Surgical, we open up the physical blocks. But like Rita was talking about, it's about the emotional blocks, or the most important block to uncover. Isn't that right, Brenda?
Yes, it is.
What was
very
happening
true.
with you when you arrived here, and
Oh
the
my
tears that would come
gosh.
out in every...
I cried every day. I just look at Daryl and I'd start crying. But now I feel so much better, and now I know what it is to love yourself. It's amazing, because we are on a journey, and we can heal ourselves. We don't need any doctor or any medicine. We just need to look after ourselves and learn what proper foods, the right thing to eat, breathing, everything. It's just so amazing. I feel great, and I'm 55, but I feel 20.
And you're amazing. And then we have so much more energy.
Yeah,
Like,
way
how's your
more
energy?
Oh, way more energy. I'm
Yes.
up at 6 every day.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
When I was at
Me
home, I
know.
didn't want to get out of
Hey,
bed.
this lady summons dolphins.
I did,
saw
yes.
I saw her on a boat when we went fishing, and she started calling the dolphins. And no kidding,
They came.
here comes the dolphins. What, 3 of them?
Really?
Yeah, I
Oh my
think they're
God.
5.
You're 5?
Yeah, I think it was great.
No
It was a great
kidding.
day. Yeah, it was a
They are
great
the
best
smartest animals.
Yeah, they're very, very
And they're
mammals.
picking up on vibration,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they're not worried about what's going on in the
Yeah.
world.
No,
They're just
exactly.
having a good time.
And they don't catch
vibration
anything from
did that.
anything.
Nothing is going
Her
on in the world.
vibration.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely.
So you
I love
connected
dolphins.
right to the dolphin vibration.
Yeah.
And didn't you get a tattoo with a dolphin or
I
something?
did. Well, this
Yay.
because I'm going home on Saturday
Don't
to
cry
sell
for it.
everything and come back. So I can help people. So I'm really looking forward to getting home. So I have a whole bunch of friends that I'm going to help.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And whoever else wants help.
Well, and really you're being their guide.
Yeah.
Their guiding
Yes, their
light.
guide. Yes, I'm not helping anybody because I've done that all my life. And you can't
Yes.
help people that don't want to be helped.
That's right.
That's
So if
right.
you're ready to grow and learn, then I'm there to help you or to guide you.
Guide you.
Guide you.
Exactly.
I'm
To
going
give
to,
them
yeah.
tools so they can empower
Exactly.
themselves on their healing journey.
Exactly. I have one friend that's got carpal tunnel, and I'm going to show her what the non-surgical can do for her wrist without getting cut open.
Yeah.
So
And
we'll
there's-
see you soon, Amy.
Yeah, and
That's
you're
it.
watching. And 95% of the surgeries that are done
Yeah.
are not necessary. Because the fact is that the bone on bone and all these hip replacements and knee replacements, and now you want to go and start cutting, and then you
Yeah.
create scar tissue and you start trying to open up. All it is scar tissue and displaced calcium and calcification based on inflammation. And because we become an inflammation nation, inflammatory thoughts, inflammatory foods, inflammatory lifestyle, inflammatory friends, inflammatory, I'm going to like do everything for everybody. And Brenda was a prime example of that. I mean, she's a beautiful, beautiful person. And absolutely one of the most kindest people that I've met.
She is.
However, she wanted to just like do everything for everybody. And at the end of the day, she was sitting there bleeding
exhausted,
as she
yeah.
was lying in her bed thinking, okay, next. And then it was a lot of next, because then you attract those kinds of vibration, and that's what you attract. And so then now we learn this.
Yeah.
And we're now pulling those, because it's a journey, and will still be. I mean, for myself, it's every, there's another healing experience, another cleansing, another layer, and it's really wonderful to see and to observe and just to see everybody's spark of life come back, because you can have it back at any age. You
That's
could
right.
be 80, you could be 84, like the woman in Canada. You're 55. I'm
Well,
59.
And I was supposed to be dead at 50, and now I'm 53.
Yeah. So let's talk about the next breathing exercise. This is so much fun.
I know, isn't it?
How much fun could you have?
Right?
And which is the brain balance breathing. Brain balance. Now, wouldn't you love
Geez,
to
that's
have
what I need.
brain balance? Exactly. Increase your mental health, increase your concentration, your cognitive function. I mean, how many people are sitting there with brain fog? And so what this does is that we're actually taking our left hand and we're going to put it onto we're going to use our earlobes,
Oh, yeah.
which is an acupuncture points. The earlobes are, they're various, it activates these various acupuncture points on your earlobes. So what you're also doing is you're connecting your left and your right hemisphere. So the creative mind and the logical mind, which is really important because sometimes we operate from one or the other, and most of the time it's from this thinking mind, and we just think ourselves, and we don't ever go into the creative mind. And we just become this like overstimulated thinking mind. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you're picking up on good vibrations. You're just constantly in that mindset where you're just like, oh my gosh, like I just need to do this, whatever, you know?
Stinking thinking.
Yeah, the stinking thinking, absolutely. So this connects the left and the right hemispheres of the brain, and so what it actually will do is it will increase focus, will increase creativity, and will increase intelligence, because we want to create intelligence within the body, not just smartness. We can go book smart, and we've all met people like that. They can rattle off all the like thing, and you think, oh my gosh, they're like so smart. Well, you know, they know what the names of things are and they know how to whatever it is. But is there intelligence, which is based on intuition, based on being able to connect to others, connect with yourself? That's intelligence. And so what we do is we put our left hand on we put our thumb and our forefinger, the thumb at the back, the forefinger on the front, and we put the thumb on the front and the forefinger on the back of the earlobe. The left hand in first, and the right hand over top, or the right arm. And so what we're going to do is that we're going to stand up. Once again,
great.
Raphael.
I'm going to stand up
I'm
first.
standing up again.
Cameraman.
Yep, cameraman. So we're going to, we're going to put our tongue, we're going to put our shoulders down, chin up, slight smile on our face. We're going to put our tongue in the front of our palate here, like you're doing the la-la. So the la-la, so that's where your tongue is going to sit. And you're going to keep your mouth closed for this, and you're going to only breathe through your nose. So you're going to breathe inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. So with your tongue in the la-la position, your shoulders back, your spine nice and straight, a slight smile on your face, your chin up, and just really honor yourself. So we're going to start balancing the brain. How cool is that? And so we're going to squat down. I don't know how you're going to do this, Raphael, because we're going to go up and down. Yeah, it's going to be a challenge from a videographer perspective, but we'll manage. You guys will get the idea. So I'm going to bend down, and I'm going to inhale on the downward motion and exhale on the upward. And the idea is to do repetitions for sets for 15.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't think
so
I can
don't
do
pass
15.
on us.
I probably will.
Okay.
So probably start at 5.
Okay. So
Okay,
lie
let's
down
do this.
position with the
Yeah.
tongue, and we're going to close our mouth and in through the nose. Inhale.
I can't go very far down. Okay, we'll try that again.
Inhale. And exhale.
I can't do it with my sore knee.
I can't do it with my knees,
Inhale.
period. No, I'm better. It's taking me a while.
And just do it for everybody out there. You don't have to go as low as what I'm going. Just go to where you're comfortable. So if it's
Excellent.
just a little bend, it's all about balancing those hemispheres. So inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale.
You've been doing this a long time, haven't you, Sharon?
And exhale.
So,
Yeah.
next time I come on, I'll be better.
And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. There we go.
All right.
Just give yourself a little shake, a little hug. There we go. And so now we are actually tightening and toning the mind. Isn't that cool? So if you do this for 3 to 5 minutes, that's what you're actually doing, is you're tightening and toning the mind. So if you get up in the morning and you do, and it doesn't take long, I mean, this is really kind of lengthy because I'm showing you all the techniques associated with it, but all of these 3 or 4, I mean, if you want to do all 4 of them, I do like Romana does first thing in the morning. I do the Lionheart Breathing, and so I just do the in and out, and I just open my day with that, with the belly button. And so the other 3 that I can just, you could do these so quickly. I mean, it takes you like 10 minutes. And then you're firing on all levels. And you can really see how much you've oxygenated yourself because the whites of your eyes go whiter. I mean, even after a few of these breaths, your whites of your eyes will start sparkling. And you can actually see, so when you're feeling kind of tired, you can actually go and do some of these breathing techniques and your eyes will just brighten up.
Yours are pretty bright.
Yeah.
So are yours. Yeah.
It's really cool. And the body tells you these things. So if we start reading the body, then we can start understanding what it's actually doing. And that the body tells a story. That's why pain is our GPS. It tells us there's something gone astray, out of alignment. If our eyes are really cloudy and really bloodshot and all these sorts of things, well, it can tell you emotions, especially anger, because anger really bloodshots people's eyes. But you can also increase your oxygen and you can start moving those emotions so they're not taking control of yourself. That is intelligence. And that's what we teach with the Braveheart Emotional Intelligence course, which is the 12 loving steps. It's about intelligence. You're training yourself to come from an intelligent standpoint, not from a standpoint of fight, flight, freeze, or I'm going to let my emotions take me away and carry me away, and they're going to control me. Because how's it working for you? Not very well. It didn't work for me very well. How did it work for you, Dorothy?
Yeah, not at all.
Not at all. Yes, exactly. Yes. And so those emotions, and when we're doing the breathing techniques, then now we can calm those emotions down and we can start observing them. And the total plan here is in the Braveheart Emotional Intelligence, is that we can have absolute chaos going around us. And we're just like, I got this.
Just breathe.
Just breathe, just allow it to happen, and just say, if I need to do something because if something's going to fall on me, I can, jump over there. But other than that, I'm not going to jump into this situation because what does it do?
Yeah.
Dumps adrenaline into the body. Yeah. And that adrenaline, when we're not actually being chased by something that is of danger to us, if you're being chased by an actual tiger and you have to run up a tree, you've got like 3 minutes before you're eaten by an actual tiger. So you run up the tree and you're like, your heart's racing because you needed that. And that's why we have an adrenal system, so that we can jump out of the way of a car or run out of the way of a tiger that's trying to chase us. But then we're up the tree and then we can look around. Oh, okay, the tiger's gone. The imminent danger looks like it's past. I can just wait because he's going to go after easier game. And then I can just shrug it off and off I go. But when you're being chased by something that doesn't exist because it exists only in here in the subconscious mind.
And on the news.
Yes. So that adrenaline rush from being chased by something that actually exists and is
Don't
real
watch the news.
will be
Right.
buffered down
Exactly.
like within 3 to 5 minutes. But when we're being chased by something that we've totally created because it doesn't exist, false evidence appearing real, fear, that adrenaline drip will last for days, like 3 days. And you better be certain that you don't get another adrenaline rush from the other fear program that you're running.
Right.
And then you're just building it up. And so the adrenal's just dripping into the body, creating inflammation. So you can eat all the most wonderful foods in the world and take all the most beautiful nutraceuticals. However, if you don't deal with what it is, that the false evidence that's appearing real, that's dripping the adrenaline into your system, that you're going to offset it, but you're not going to be able to truly heal yourself. And you're just going to burn out your adrenals. And they sit on top of the kidneys, and that will just drip that in. And so you freeze up your pineal gland because it becomes calcified. You burn out your thyroid. Your kidneys, which the adrenal glands sit on top of the kidneys, they start being affected so that they start deteriorating themselves. And so it's just domino effect of the adrenal gland dump. So it's just drip, drip, drip. So we don't want to be drips anymore.
Right.
No more
Exactly.
drips.
No more drips.
Just breathe.
Just breathe.
Exactly.
You know, they say it's a gift that keeps on giving. Well, this is the opposite. Because first I would allow myself to get really angry at something, to get triggered at something. Somebody insulted me or whatever. It was usually an emotional insult. And then I would react, and then the other end of that was the remorse and the shame and the self-disgust that came from behaving like that. And that was worse. And that sucker could just go on and on. So finding out how to interrupt that whole system just allows me to have so much more pleasure, because I don't have to deal with all that crap.
That's right. Look at all the time you have on your hand.
I know.
Yeah, right?
There's nothing to do.
So you have time to do all your, everything.
Self-care.
protocol.
Yeah.
Self-care, not healthcare. We know what that
It's not
stands for,
healthcare
don't
at
we?
all.
Yeah, self-care.
Well, and that's what it is that we want to covet our energy and have our energy used for the things that we really want to do,
Right.
rather than the things that, I mean, that's just distracting us, because all
Yeah.
the energy, like you're saying, is being
Yeah.
focused on that distraction, which the judgment thing, and then it's like, oh my gosh, you know? And when you can start observing that, and you can just go, you know what, like, goodbye, I'm done with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see it. I see you.
Yes, that's right, as it tries to filter in, because it's such a program, and the mind is so powerful.
It's amazing when you start to see it. And
Yeah.
I just started to see it recently. It's
Yeah.
like,
Good for
that
you.
program? Do I want that program? Or do I want this program?
And what I love about what we're doing here and people coming here, the visualization of everybody that comes here when they start to do a course or whatever it is that they're doing, you visually notice the change of that
Yes,
person,
you
as well
do.
as spiritually. Like
Yeah.
you feel,
Yeah.
you know, it really creates a different vibration, a different frequency, you know. But just looking at people from when they came to even a month,
Yeah.
even a week in some
I
instances,
know.
some people change like their programs quicker than others. Obviously, it depends on what you've been through and what your capabilities are and how sick you are. But it really is incredible. I've never seen anything like this. I've never felt anything like this. The community that comes together here,
Yes.
the brave hearts are so brave, and our frequency is so high. However, the locals here are amazing.
They are.
Everywhere you go, whether they're wearing a mask or not, they smile. If you say hello, which I say hello to pretty much everyone as you're walking past, which is a lot of people, right? And they all friendly. You go on the
Yeah.
buses, doesn't matter where you go, they're all friendly. They're a beautiful
Friendly.
race of people. And I am so proud and privileged and grateful and thankful and whatever other adjective you want to use. It really is an incredible place.
Yes,
Yeah, it really
It's
is.
amazing.
What a journey.
And so we have the Ixtapa World Healing and Training Center, the Braveheart Nations. And so we have the Celsonic here, which is the most powerful energy medicine piece of equipment in the world. And I can say that with honesty, I've used it myself, and I've seen profound responses as far as individuals go. So they'll go in there and do the Wolf non-surgical, and the Celsonic machine, it will actually dissipate calcification within the body. It will create little microfractures within the bone itself, and actually restore the spin of the mitochondria, and bring light energy into the cell itself and rejuvenate. So in these little microfractures within the bones, it actually stimulates some stem cell production. So what we're doing here is that we can do both non-surgical and open up and create some blood flow within the tissues itself. Then we can go in there and we can give 25,000 volts of love harmonic in through the Celsonic machine, which is, like I said, the most powerful energy medicine equipment in the world. We have it here. And so we can actually stop cancer in its tracks. We're not saying anything other than just stopping it, because it's up to the individual as far as what they do with that stop, because it's an emotional component that is. Because cancer is just inflammation that's gone wild. And with all these different methodologies that we have and all these strategies with the Perfect Day protocol, and the products themselves, the nutraceuticals, and somebody, it's not all about the products, but what's gone on with our world right now is that the soils are so depleted of nutrition, because there's so many chemicals and glyphosates and poison in the air and poison within the fact that there's genetically modified, all of these factors that are associated with the foods that we're consuming. So our foods do not have the frequency, because all that's left, whenever we consume foods, is the vibration, because we're electromagnetic energy light beings. It's all about the light energy. And so when we're consuming the foods, if they're not high vibrational foods, they can't be that high vibrational because they can't even be grown in high vibrational soils and in the atmosphere, that we need these high vibrational nutraceuticals. And that's why we call them nutraceuticals here under the dock of Detox and with Daryl Wolf, because he's attracted high vibrational nutraceuticals because he's a high vibrational being. And we have some of the most beautiful products, like the C60. The molecule of the C60 is the highest, the C60 that we have, it has the highest vibration molecule on this planet. The highest vibration. So it will actually go in and it will produce a perfect cell. So every 7 years, our cells replicate. Every cell in our body replicates itself. So if you're on our C60 for 7 years, you will replicate every single cell in your body with a perfect cell. And it's 250 times stronger, the free radical scavenger, stronger than vitamin C, the C60 that we have. The C60 that's produced by Richard is that he actually, because there has to be a centrifuge that it creates in the dark, so there's centrifuge action with the C60 carbon 60 itself that's brought together by two rods, and it has to do with light and energy and all of these things that go on. He's very meticulous, and it's an FDA approved facility to produce the C60. Not only does he produce it in an FDA approved facility, but he infuses the C60 while it's being produced for the 2-week period with special speakers that have the frequency that is a very specially designed speaker. So it's not just any speaker, because it's not putting a bunch of electromagnetic field into the C60, but he's infusing it with love harmony while he's producing it.
Nice. It's great stuff. I take it every day.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking about the IGF.
Right. Okay, so who's that? Helen. Can you talk about IGF? Yes. IGF is produced from human growth hormone. And human growth hormone is converted by the body into IGF, which is the insulin growth factor, by the liver. And what we do have is that we have the IGF, but the IGF that we have is also infused with something called long jack, that's it. And it comes from these very specialized deer antlers that are grown. It's the velvet of the deer antlers that these deer reside in New Zealand. And it's done very gently, but these deer grow like an inch a day or something. It's some unbelievable amount. And so they take the velvet off of the deer antler and produce this beautiful IGF product. Well, the IGF will actually go in and it will rebuild and rejuvenate the body itself. And what's really important about it is that it works really wonderfully with our ionic calcium products, because any calcium that we take, it actually doesn't infuse the bone with the type of calcium that our bone has. So when we're sick and we're inflamed, that our body is actually pulling bone out of pulling calcium out of the bones, and it's going into the tissues that are inflamed, because inflammation is acidity. And so the body cannot be at an acidic level. We need to be at a homeostatic level of 7.4 on the pH chart. 7.2 is neutral, 7.4 is slightly alkaline. That's our homeostatic level. That's the level that the body needs to be at all times. Well, when we have inflammatory thoughts and inflammatory foods, inflammatory lifestyle, then we become inflamed and we become acidic. So the body pulls calcium out of the bones, so it buffers down the acidity. What the IGF does is it's able to infuse the bones with the proper type. It'll carry the proper type of calcium within the bones, because any of the other calcium that's now being infused into the bones, if you take any of that kind of supplements, it will actually make the bones more brittle.
Other than margarine, of course.
Yes,
The
ionic calcium and the IGF work synergistically. It actually will rebuild a woman into a woman, and it will really help as far as the, because after menopause, then we have so much more chance of having osteoporosis, and that's where we have the thinning of the bones. And so the IGF will help with the rebuild of the bones, it helps with regenerating the tissues, regenerating the mind, and it will actually give you back your libido, and it will actually bring up your energy levels. It's an amazing product, and I'm on it, and it's just,
So am I.
yeah,
Oh, me too.
it's really
I've done the
beautiful.
Cell Sonic too.
Yeah.
Yep, it's
Yeah,
amazing
really
stuff.
beautiful. Thank you for that question, Helen, I appreciate it.
And just so that you know, we've already been going for an hour and a half, would you
Oh.
believe? The time just flies.
Does
So
it?
let's just do the last one, the Braveheart Pump. The Braveheart Pump is a really wonder. It's 90% of the brain cells are dormant. So what it does is it rejuvenates that, and it creates the sacral occipital pump, and it moves the spinal fluid. So we can just do this really, really quickly. And so what we're doing is we're standing up again, and we're going to breathe in for the 6 and hold for 2, like the Lionheart breathing. But we're going to be doing different hand movements. So we're going to be coming up, we're going to be going 6 and hold for 2, and we're going to exhale, and you could do this kneeling or standing, and we're going to exhale, and we're going to pull the abdomen in to the belly button, and we're going to exhale for a count of 7, and inhale for 6, and hold 1, 2, and exhale for 7. Inhale for 6, and hold and exhale for 7.
It's like I can almost
Inhale
feel
for
that
6.
going up in my spine.
Yeah, isn't it cool?
Yeah.
And exhale for 7. So we'll do one more. Inhale for 6. Hold and exhale for 7. And the idea with the Braveheart pumping is that you're going to be doing 36 of them. And you do them in a really honored, respectful, slow manner. And then once you've done those, you're going to rub your hands together. And this really connects the occipital and the sacral pump and the spinal fluid. Because 75% of our light energy is actually transmitted up the spinal cord. How cool is that? So now we're actually going to create a connection. We're actually going to take all of that beautiful energy that we created from doing the Braveheart Pump breathing, and we're going to put your one hand on the base of your skull, which is your occipital, and on the other hand on your sacrum. And that's going to now, if we close your eyes, you can actually feel the pulsing of that energy that's encouraging the spinal fluid and the occipital and the sacral pump.
Imagine how that would feel naked. Like if you could actually feel your skin, like have it
It feels
right on
amazing.
your skin.
I can vouch for that. Yeah. So any one of these techniques you could use singularly, you can put them all together. I would really recommend that you take back and you can master the energy. When you master the energy, you master your life.
Yeah.
That's really what the bottom line is.
Yep.
Master your energy, master your life. So unless you're willing to erase and replace beliefs, otherwise change parts of what we call our personality, you will never have a new reality, emotionally, physically, financially, or spiritually. So together we're discovering that, and we're discovering that by these beautiful Braveheart women. So together let us uncover and discover our Braveheart. Roar. How's that cool? So if we can do the breathing, we can roar better. Because we are so much more. We're unlimited potential. So why don't we talk a little bit, and maybe we'll just do a couple today because we're kind of running short on time. Because, do you want to talk about your stories, your journeys, and what brought you here? How about you, Rita? Would you like to tell the story?
Coming here, it was a big decision for me. But it was also about being worthy to do this for me. Something that I wanted to do for the first time, giving me a time to myself. And I'm so grateful that I have done it. It was the best decision that I made. It completely changed my life. Now I feel amazing. I feel better. I feel like the shine and the light inside of me. I feel that this love. And I want to share this with the people that I will meet, and I want to help them. It could be my family, my friends, and everybody else. This is a beautiful place to come and change your life completely. People are great. I made so many friends as of you guys, and I feel this magnetic, beautiful energy as I'm sitting here, and I'm so appreciated in my heart for being able to be part of this program. I know that the last 4 or 5 years I was looking for something. Something was missing in my life. Something was lacking. And I was looking for an answer. I found the answer, and this is what it is.
What do you think was the moment that was like really one of the most profound moments for you, Rita, on this journey? Is there one that stands out?
The one stands out that I see the world better place, and the one that stands out that I saw that we are the ones who creating our reality. That's what it was. I didn't know about it. Yeah, I read all the fancy books, this and that, but when it comes to doing it, I never done it. Mm-hmm. So
beautiful.
That's what I learned. And also, I want to say that this world is changing, and it's going to be better, much, much beautiful world for everybody. We are going through the changes, and I know more people will understand that they need to find their power inside of themselves, and they need to become the healer to help themselves. Nobody else is going to do it. And I see the great changes. Try it, and then you will see how amazing you're going to feel.
Yeah. And come down to the Ixtapa World Healing and Training Center.
Come and join us. This
Yeah.
is a beautiful place.
Yeah.
I mean, I see the vibration, the beautiful, and the people, like you said, local people, they are kind-hearted. And all my friends, everywhere you walk, you are surrounded with people that you know. And everybody is joining. You can never be alone in this.
Unless you want to be.
Unless you want to be, but nobody wants to be alone.
But even when you go, like, I mean, you came in what, November or December, and then you left, and then you came back again, right?
I came
Yes.
in October.
Yes.
It was a big thing, but I came and I'm grateful. I had to go back, but I came and took the course again for the second time. Each time I learn more and more, and I see the great changes in me, the positive thinking and the changes each time. And I'm leaving actually, but I have to go on Thursday. Next Thursday is my last day, like you, Brenda, after you, but I will be back, and I will be continuing with my education, taking more courses here.
And remember too, you don't have to, if there is some reason why you can't leave wherever it is you're leaving, everything's online. We've got the Braveheart Emotional Training course. You've got nearly 80 hours just in that one alone. And you've got the A to Z Wellness course, which again is about 80 hours. And I mean, Daryl has a library with around 30 books in it. It's all accessed for free. Free. Like, it's unheard of. I did study on myself while I was healing. I did study for about 2 years before I came here and did the courses. And it really helped me. So even if you can't get here now, for whatever reason that is, don't knock it off. Don't go, oh, I'm never going to be able to go there. Don't do that. Don't do that. Go, this is my dream. I want to go there. I'm going to do this. But start there. You know, whatever it is, just take it on board. He's got videos coming out of his ears. Every day he's creating something, aren't we? There's never ending information. You can start your journey. Do a perfect day consultation with one of our magnificent practitioners. Just go to www.docofdetox.com/consultation and choose whoever you resonate with. You know, there's so many options to get started. Don't just think, oh no, but I can't do anything till I get to that or till I do that. Or don't stop yourself. Just if you're even got an inkling of wanting to move forward, just go.
Get out
just
of
do
your
it.
own way. Get out of your own
Yeah.
way. You really have to get out of your way,
Yeah.
and that's one of the biggest issues, is that we are getting our own way. And Lori asked Rita if she doesn't mind to ask where you're from.
Well, I keep saying I'm from Los Angeles, and people, no, but
It's not a Los Angeles accent.
I live in Los Angeles. My accent is different. I live in Los Angeles for a long, long time. It seems I'm going to live with this accent, right? I'm Armenian,
Yes.
from Armenia.
Yes.
I was born in Armenia, Yerevan.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
someone did ask before if I was Australian. Yes, I am Australian.
Yes. And you know what? We've got a little mix of all kinds of things.
Everybody.
Yeah.
LA Armenian, we got an
Yeah.
Australian, we got two Canadians.
Canadian,
and
eh?
another-
People from
And actually, I
Norway.
think true blue American, right?
Right.
Yeah, there you go, yes.
Massachusetts.
Yeah. So this is all about Braveheart women hear us roar, and we want to roar, and I believe everybody should roar, not just the women. The children should roar.
Yeah.
And this is about telling people the stories, the journeys that led us here. Because we all have a checkered past as far as exactly what went on. And we all have these issues that have happened to us, traumas and dramas and life stories and losses and injuries and pain and suffering and emotion and yada, yada, yada. I mean, there's so much that's compacted within each one of our little stories. And it comes down to the fact that this journey has led us here, led us to this most beautiful place. And Daryl Wolf had a vision, he had a dream. And he said it 3 years ago. 3 years ago, before this, he said that he is going to move his practice to Mexico, and he's going to open up a world healing and training center. And he vibrated to that level. So he pushed it with his vibration, and he didn't allow, there's been so many hurdles that have been thrown in his way, so many challenges.
Never
And he
ending.
sits there, snaps his Braveheart love band, I got this, I got this. Lionheart breathing, 6 seconds in, hold for a few seconds, 7 seconds out, you've got this. I say it so many times to and when I'm doing a perfect day consultation, I'll say go to the mirror and just like look at yourself and breathe. Because that's what this is all about. And these individuals came as Bravehearts because they wanted to breathe and they wanted to expand themselves. They knew that there was something more. And Daryl opened up the door for them so they could walk through it. But that's what we need to do, is walk through it. And we derail ourselves because our subconscious mind goes, oh, I can't do that. I mean, I can't get up and do perfect day consults. I can't sit here and do a video like this and be in front of all you people and tell my story because I can't. No, what? I am healed. I am Braveheart. I am love.
And it's amazing how it changes. Well, what about you, Dorothy? Would you be happy to tell something about your story?
I thought we were going to hear Brenda's
Yes.
story.
Oh, because Brenda's
Do you
leaving.
mind? 'Cause
No,
she's leaving.
absolutely, that's right.
I want
yes.
to hear Brenda's
So-
story.
I forgot about that because she's
Well-
been here for so long. I just think she's part of
Yeah.
our family, and I didn't know she was leaving. I only found that out today.
Crazy. Yeah. Well, I am. Call me
like,
crazy,
wow,
but I
can't
have to
believe
go and deal with stuff. And
Okay, fair
so
enough.
being here for 6 months, which I wasn't planning on staying for 6 months, but I came in November with my daughter, Diana. We both took the course twice. I took it November, January, and then March. And I thought, there's no way I'd be able to go home because I would not be strong enough to hold my ground, be firm with what I need to do. And I know what I have to do. But it's really made me realize how important I am, because I was never important. I always put everybody ahead of me. I didn't eat well. I didn't even realize how bad our food was for us. I loved cheese. I ate cheese 4 times a day. I would have a piece of cheese. I loved it. And now I haven't eaten cheese, and I've lost 20 pounds in the 6 months. All the puffiness in my legs, we're all puffy. Everybody is puffy.
Puffball syndrome.
Puffball, yeah, like everybody is puffy. If you look at everybody and see that we are all like bloated, and it's because of our diet, what they put in our food. It's not good.
No.
So I've learned a lot, and I hope to share it with a lot of people who I dearly love and I miss dearly. I'm going to go home and see everybody and I'm sure going to miss everybody here. But this is the best choice I made for me, and I was a little selfish, but you have to be.
You have to be.
Life is too short, and I'd always say that. Life's too short. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
It's centered on self.
And centered on yourself, yeah.
And life is a lot longer if you do that.
Right? Exactly.
So what was one of the most profound things that happened with you? Was there a big aha moment or something that
I've
really
had
just
a
like...
few aha moments,
Yes.
just the learning about the energy and food that we need to eat, high vibrational foods. I've learned a lot. I had no idea. I really didn't know. And I think all these guys were crazy. Like, what is wrong with these people? But they're actually amazing. They're all honest, non-judgmental. We've all been through stuff. We've got to let it go and live our life as full as we can. Yeah. So that's my advice, is to let
We're
go.
a little group of wackos.
Yeah, we are all crazies over
They're
here.
the happiest
We're not.
black guys in the world.
Well, we're not actually.
We're not.
I
We're
want to
different.
say something.
We're healthy.
Yeah.
Because I've been able to hang out with Brenda a little bit, and I've just never seen such just a glorious, even, fun, up for anything, and enjoying everything, and with this beautiful look in her face, and just laughing. I mean, this girl is just joy incarnate.
I love
it's such
people.
a pleasure being
And I love
in
you.
your presence.
Oh,
Beautiful.
you're awesome.
Truly.
Beautiful.
Well, I'm certainly going to miss being here.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you'll
But I'm
be back
coming
one
back.
day.
Yeah.
You'll be
Yeah,
back.
I will, for sure. I'll make a little
Guaranteed.
drive-through to you if I end up driving.
From the West Coast, she's just
Yeah.
going to toddle over to the
Yeah,
East
sure.
Coast one afternoon.
Yeah, sure. Well, a few days.
So what we're going to do is, because the time's kind of getting away on us, and just by the
sing.
way, in regards to cheese is more addictive to the brain than cocaine is.
Yep.
And that is why cheese is very difficult to get away from, and that is why when you start eating cheese, and you're eating cheese, that you'll just keep eating it because it just says more and more and more.
And
it did.
Yeah, and
It's
it's the
so
most inflammatory
toxic.
food.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the most
Yeah.
inflammatory
Gets in
food that you
everything.
can consume.
everything.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is that, because this is all about the power of love and what's going on, and but I should actually tell about the upcoming
okay.
before we play.
Before we play,
Yes,
all right,
yes,
all
I need
right,
to
all
talk
right.
about
There we
what's
go.
coming up.
Okay.
So,
Whole life coach.
if you want to find out about the courses, the Whole Life Coach course or the Wolf Non-Surgical upcoming course class schedule, basically, is you can go to braveheartnation.com. And we have a Whole Life Coach course starting on April the 30th, and it is running till May the 9th. Give yourself that gift and move those emotional blocks out of here and come back to the conscious moment. The Wolf Non-Surgical starts on May the 11th, so we're running the Whole Life Coach. We always run the Whole Life Coach first, and then the Wolf Non-Surgical after. There's usually a day or two break. And the Wolf Non-Surgical starting on May the 11th, and it runs till May the 22nd. The upcoming shows, we will have the New World Health Live Q&A. It's coming up on Tuesday, and that runs at noon. And this is all Central Time, so it's an opportunity for individuals to ask as many questions as they like. And then on Thursday, because we run the Braveheart Women show every Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time. On April the 28th, next Thursday, we're running the Braveheart Women show, Hear Us Roar, Part 2. There's so many individuals that I wanted to hear from, and then we will probably do some of the pelvic expander exercises, the pelvic squats, and maybe do some interaction in that regards, and we'll see how that works. Or maybe we'll just do a bunch of roars from our beautiful women and our beautiful Braveheart individuals that can tell their stories. And we will hold that in the tent, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm going to invite whatever Braveheart women that are here, they can come and partake in that. So you can also get, because I just had a wonderful thing happen from a woman that I had done a Perfect Day consult on, and she sent me a message, and she got an exemption letter from Aeromexico from getting one of Daryl's travel letters that talks about giving the Braveheart training and treatment. So we have the World Healing and Training Center, so you can get a travel letter. To receive a travel letter for attending treatments or trainings at Ixtapa, you must sign up for a Perfect Day consultation and select the travel letter add-on option as a booking. And she ended up getting, and she sent me the picture from Aeromexico that she got an exemption by that travel letter from the Ixtapa World Healing and Training Center. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
And the cost is an additional $5, and the client will receive the travel letter at the end of their consultation via email. The practitioner is responsible for completing the travel letter and sending it to the client. So remember to join us on the show at the Doc of Detox. Never miss an opportunity to ask live questions. As you wish, you can also come to the Doc of Detox on Odyssey. There's many different uncensored platforms, Telegram, t.me/the Doc of Detox, Rumble, Doc of Detox, Bitchute, Doc of Detox, Odyssey at Doc of Detox, and Brightian, Doc of Detox. So what we're going to do now is just talk, what's that?
I just want to, there's a comment there about getting the all the information in French. I believe someone is working on a French
Oh, okay.
for
Good to know.
for people
Okay.
in Quebec. I bet you're from. Oh,
Elaine, yeah.
bonjour.
Thank you, Elaine. Yes.
Yes.
Gracias. Yeah, so we are working
So
on
they are
that.
working on the French
Good. Good to know.
and Spanish maybe
And the
as well.
Spanish,
Yes,
yeah.
Spanish as well.
Yeah.
So yes, that should be.
Yes. And there will be, down the road, so there's more upcoming courses, and we always will run the courses, both non-surgical for the New World Practitioner certification. We'll always run them in sets of 3s. So this course starts on April 30th, and then the next one will be in May, and then there'll be another one in June. And there's also a Metaphysics 101, Bridging the Invisible with the Physical, with Robin Thier. And she's an amazing person. She
Oh,
channels light
beautiful,
language,
yeah.
and that's going to be from May the 26th to the 28th. You can find out more information on that at thebraveheartnation.com.
Yeah.
The next Whole Life Coach course starts on May the 29th, and then following that, the Wolf Non-Surgical. So you can get weekly newsletters, so you can sign up at the Doc of Detox, and just follow us. Go to Dr. Daryl Wolf. Obviously you are at Facebook because you're here. And what we would like to finish off with is we'd like to finish off with a
Sing a
very
little
empowering song that has touched many of us here. And it's The Power of Now. The individual is by Alexia Chelin, and it was introduced to me at a very profound moment at a meditation at the Whole Life Coach course. And it was something when I just had my heart drop, and there was a lot of fire going on inside of me. And when I heard this song, it just really resonated. And I feel that it's such an important song. And we're not musicians, well, Rita is, but we're not, it's not America's Got Talent.
Yeah, no judgment.
And it's not the Gong Show either.
It's the Doc of Detox Talent. And so we're going to sing our version of The Power of Now, and we would encourage you to look this up and play this as often as you can, because it is a global march of self-empowerment. And this is what we need to listen to. Turn off all the other media.
Yeah.
Turn off all the negative talk and chatter, and instill your body with the high vibration of love, because it is about unconditional love. So Rita,
Take it away.
take it away.
Together?
Yes,
All of
we're
us,
gonna do this
right?
together.
Yeah.
Power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create
magic on earth. Power of love is here now. Power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. Let the water wash away your tears. Let the fire burn away your fears. Let the wind blow into your life such faith and trust. Oh, let the earth hold you, take care of you and nurture you. Power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. Let the water wash away your tears. Let the fire burn away your fears. Let the wind blow into your life such faith and trust. Oh, let the earth hold you, take care of you and nurture you.
Emotional.
We love you all and thank you for joining us. And remember, the power of love is here now.
It is.
Thank you, beautiful.
It
Love
is
you
with
all.
us.
Love you guys.
The magic is here. We love you.
Thanks, everybody.
You know, it's not good enough to have the most powerful courses, treatments, and training. We want to deliver to you the adventure of a lifetime that's going to last a lifetime. And I'm going to take you on a little adventure right now and show you what we are going to deliver. What are we going to deliver? We are going to deliver the authentic you, the real you, the genius inside. How would you like to become not just the master of your mind, but the master of your body, the master of your life? You know what? The most important world is your world, and we're about to show you how to create it.
Found Dr. Wolf and all his positivity and trying to reshape our way of thinking and help me be a better person, a better mom, better wife. I'm glad I found him in person in Ixtapa, Mexico.
Never limit yourself to beautiful, because that's what you are. Take a look at this beautiful place. We all deserve beauty in our life. You need to create a new program that is unlimited when it comes to things that are beautiful, things that make you happy, things that make you shine, things that make you feel excited. Let's get excited.
This guy's got something really interesting to say and he's sharing it really openly and we're just really not caring what other people think, and I just thought that was really empowering.
What I've learned in my life is this: to be the change you wish to be the change you wish to see, Braveheart, you have to understand you take life one step at a time.
Dr. Wolf, as many people will have seen, is very direct and straight and will take you to the edge of the cliff, as he says, and then pull you back just in time.
Never lose your focus. Never lose your dream, because you are the dream maker. It's called image, but guess what? It's your imagination. The image that you hold creates the thought that you live with. That thought creates an emotion that creates a frequency, and we know that the invisible creates the physical. I mean, that's quite obvious. So be the power that you seek, and understand something, that all your thoughts matter. And guess what? Unless you're willing to take a look at those thoughts and retrain your brain, change your personality, you'll never change your reality, and your reality could become infinite.
He's a wealth of information, and I love it.
You were created by your creator to create. So let's create something amazing together.
I found Dr. Wolf and I went, wow, here's a truth speaker. And he spoke to my soul and he spoke truth.
So tell me what you think of the destination that I came up with my imagination to hold the whole life coach certification for you. Understand something. It's all about beauty. It's all about adventure. It's all about stimulating the mind, okay? And understanding that your mind is unlimited. And that is what the whole life coach certification is all about. In the whole life coach certification, we are going to go deeper. We have people coming to us, professionals coming to us, from doctors to nurses to accountants to oil riggers to mothers that want to expand their life. And when they come here, they go, I need to learn to help my family, or I want to improve my business. But guess what? We get into their business. When they leave, they become the change that they wish to see, that they wish to be. They become the gift to the world, because when you can stay in the present, and you can't do that until you have unconditional love and care for yourself. And I'll tell you something right now. I have hardly even found 1 out of 1,000 practitioners, or even so-called whole life coaches, that can hold the present moment and own it and then give it as a gift. And this is what I'm going to give to you. And when you come here, this is where you're going to come into this room when you need to find alignment, you need to find balance, and you need to get back into your Lionheart breath, because we're going to go deep into your heart and we're going to become the spark that you seek.
And actually what I really love about Dr. Wolf's teachings is that unconditional love is literally it. And then you're like, how can it be that easy? That's just silly. So, but it's really not.
Come play, Come stay, come train with us today. Understand something. I know we have fear, but understand, that's just false evidence appearing real. I get it. Stick your toe in, feel the water, but then I want you to dive right in because
How I found my Braveheart was through Daryl. He really teaches you to go within and go in through your heart and not your mind, because your heart's a lot more connected to so much more than your mind. Your mind is just so conditioned and your heart is just so open and beautiful.
you're the answer that you've been looking for. Let me teach you how to fly. What does that mean? First, love yourself, Braveheart. Let's take life in and win.
I had just lost my husband a couple of years ago. With his passing, he gave me the greatest gift to love myself. But Dr. Wolf gave me the greatest gift in understanding that.
I had a dream 3 years ago that I would live in Mexico and I would have this training center, this teaching center, this treatment center that would touch the world. Your dreams are never too big. And when they start to create a little bit of anxiety, turn them into excitement. And get excited because this is your life.
He's the first doctor that I have encountered that has truly given me the truth, and not just half truths, but the full truth. So it's been revolutionary for me in my healing process.
And this, my friend, when you take on the dream of all dreams and you realize that if you stay connected to your breath, that you can have it all. Do not let anybody take your breath away. Do not let anybody steal your dream, okay? Listen, God gave you imagination. This is your sandbox of life. Take your life back. Right now, we are teaching courses to people that have come from all over the world, and the government is saying you can't travel, you can't breathe, you can't have this, you can't come together. Yes, we will. And we will do it with unconditional love for each other. And we will learn to grow. We will not judge each other. We'll observe and see where we can support each other. But at the same time, we will hold the Braveheart line, because this is the only way that we can grow. So find your roar, because you're so much more. And learn this. You are the unconditional love that you've been looking for. You are the dream maker. I can't wait to see you. We want to become that small piece of the puzzle that brings your dream together. Thank you. Let me ask you a question. What do you think it would take to turn your life around? I can tell you right now, I learned that a long time ago, what the key was. And anybody that has been able to perfect the perfect day on an emotional, physical, and spirit level knows this. The answer is massive, personal action. That's what it's going to take for you to turn your life around. And to turn your life around, you're going to have to go within if you want to change without. And that's the bottom line. And you know, people think that they can do it like with a consultation, or maybe they can do it with a telephone call or a Band-Aid or a 911 emergency, a treatment. But understand, that's not the way it is. The day that you realize that when you master your mind is the only time you're going to master your body. Forget your life. That's always going to be just random luck until you know that you must become the master of your day. From the moment you rise until you gently close your eyes, you must be the only authority for you. And if you think that getting an hour consultation is going to do it, it's not. If you think that going for therapy is going to do it, it's not. You have to submerge yourself into what we would call the personal treatment and training. And you need to do that from anywhere from 6 days to 10 days, or you need to come for my whole life coach certification, because if you don't go in deep, you'll never make changes. They say it takes 10,000 times for you to repeat something before it becomes a prominent, dominant thought. And if you understood that 70 to 90% of all your thoughts are not yours, and they say that 70% of your thoughts are toxic, tell me they're not. Take a look at the majority of the population. 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease, which means the body is attacking itself. Before that, though, the person was attacking themselves on a subconscious, unconscious level. And that, my friend, is the bottom line, and why you must take a personal treatment and training and go deep and understand how to run your life. What that means is learning how to think, how to drink, how to eat, and knowing when somebody is mistreating you, when someone is disrespecting you, because until you honor and respect yourself, no one else is going to do it. So understand, this is your life. If you want to live your passion and purpose, then you must become the master of your mind to become the master of your body so that you can become the light for your family. So please, consider this. You've got the time and you've got the money, because you're going to change the rest of your life for the rest of your life, and that's my guarantee to you.